everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. 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 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. Oh, there's something about your love. Something about your love changes everything in my body. Oh, something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. 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 Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything.
Good morning, Rooted Men, and happy and blessed Wednesday morning. Great to have all of you on board as we're looking at Joshua chapter 9 and Israel's encounter with the Gibeonites. Steve kicked us off yesterday, and we're going to take this event further as we move on today. But first, let's say hi. I think I was first out there on X. Good morning, Rooted Men. Chuck B, shalom, gentlemen. Bert Reggiani, good morning, gentlemen. Ken Gooch, good morning, fellow brothers in arms. Chris Connolly, good morning. Well, and there's more out there. I can see you. Feel free to chime in by typing a hi or say hello. Yes, so we're going to be looking at the Gibeonites. Now, who can blame them, right? It is so interesting that in the same situations, some people can be so inept, so not seeing what's in front of their face. And then others seem to have an uncanny ability to see, even from a distance, some things and see the pattern and go, oh my goodness, right? The Gibeonites have heard even what God did for the Israelites in the when they were on the other side of the Jordan. They've already heard of those things. And I want you to see, they're not saying, who is this nation of Israel? Who are these people? It's, who is this God? I mean, they know that impossible things happened in the desert, that they won wars they should have never won, that they were fed manna and quail. I mean, they heard the stories. Others heard it probably and thought it was mythology, thought maybe it was just, exaggeration. The Gibeonites and the leaders of the Gibeonites see it. And they see what happened to Ai. They see what happened to Jericho. And so they come up with this amazing plan. Like, let's fool them. Let's trick them into having a treaty with us. It makes a lot of sense, right? So we're going to take some stale bread and we're going to take some wineskins that are all worn out, and we're going to take clothing that's all worn out. We are going to make them, we're going to appear that we've come from a long distance. And we are going to try to get these Israelites to have a treaty with us rather than them destroy us. I call that 2020 vision. These Gibeonites see the writing on the wall. They see what's happening. They are adding it all up, and they see it clearly. So let me continue where Steve stopped, and we're going to start at verse 7, and we're going to go to 15. But the men of Israel said to the Hivites, perhaps you live among us. Then how can we make a covenant with you? Well, they are asking the right question, aren't they, these Israelites? But notice who they're asking. The very people that are trying to betray them and trick them. Anybody want to say it really loud? Who aren't the Israelites asking? Yeah. It's going to come up pretty soon, right? It's so obvious. Once again, they don't go to God. Lesson here. This is the only lesson in this whole message. So he goes on and says, how can we make a covenant with you? And they said to Joshua, we are your servants. And Joshua said to them, who are you and where did you come from? They said to him, from a very distant country your servants have come because of the name of the Lord your God. Wow. They could care less really about Joshua. They fear this God. In one sense, although they haven't gone directly to this God, they are reacting to this God even better than Joshua. Insane, isn't it? For we have heard a report of him and all that he did in Egypt. Whoa, all the way back to Egypt. And all that he did to the two kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, to Sihon, the king of Heshbon, and Og, the king of Bashan, who lived in Ashtaroth. So our elders and all the inhabitants of our country said to us, take provisions in your hand for the journey and go meet them and say to them, we are your servants. We are not your enemy. We're willing to become your servants. Come now, make a covenant with us. Here is our bread. It was warm when we took it from our houses and as our food for the journey, and now it's a bunch of dry crumbs. These wineskins were new when we filled them, and behold, they have burst. These garments and sandals of ours are all worn out from our long journey. So some of the Israelites took some of their provision, but did not ask counsel from the Lord. Joshua made peace with them, and he made a covenant with them to let them live. And the leaders of the congregation swore to them without going to God. You say, who does that? Who in the world does that? Well, I know this unnamed pastor who God has gifted with some wisdom, and God has gifted with the ability to pierce into pretty difficult situations and bring them to solution, bring an answer. You might say that people rely on him to fix things. He just sees. And so he does have a gift, but oftentimes this pastor just jumps right into fixing and doesn't stop to say, hey, God, what do you think should be done? Should I even get involved in this? What is your will? Like, why would this pastor have to do that when he's got the gift? Joshua has a gift. He's got a gift of victory. Wherever he puts his feet, he's going to win. Like, why can't I use my gift and my wisdom to see the obvious and make this covenant with these Gibeonites? Because, hey, they're being upfront. And I'm a leader. I should know. So this pastor that I know and this leader, Joshua, are too similar in a negative way. They don't often enough ask the question, should I step in and fix right now? Lord, what do you think? Guide me, direct me. Is it better that I say nothing, or is it better that I say something? Should I give it some time? What do you say, Lord? And I know that probably you guys have never done anything like what Joshua has done or what this pastor friend of mine does, but you can only guess that this is not going to go well with Joshua. Peering into tomorrow, you know what's going to happen, right? They're going to find out they made a covenant with not a nation that's far away, but a nation that's very near. And all he had to do was ask God. You see, from the very beginning of Joshua's leadership, you have to rely on me and my words. Don't look to the right or don't look to the left. Be strong and courageous. Don't be terrified. Don't be discouraged, because I'm with you. But you got to bring me. I mean, didn't he learn from AI sending in 3,000 people and getting their butts kicked? Well, that pastor friend that I'm talking about, he hasn't always learned it either. When to be still, when to wait. Just jumps in, fixes. But not always, maybe the result is what was expected or what God may have wanted. So I guess I would just say if there's anything to take out of this devotion is where are you involved in trying to solve a problem, fix a problem, and have you gone to God yet? And asked for guidance and asked for direction. All right. I'll leave it at that. I'll be back in a bit for the strengthening our roots and prayer. Blessings on your day. Make it a firmly rooted day, and may someone see Jesus in us today. Peace.